It's 2 o'clock in the morning and your phone screen is the only light in the room. You sent the message 4 hours ago. Still no reply. Nobody died. Nothing happened. But your stomach is in a knot anyway, and you can't quite explain why a silent text thread feels almost unbearable. Here's the strange part. Your ancestors would have understood that feeling instantly. Not because of phones, because of something far older and far more dangerous than being left on red. You'd assume the biggest threat to early humans was the obvious one. Claws, teeth, something hiding in the grass. But for most of human history, the thing that actually killed people fastest wasn't a predator at all. It was being alone. Think about what a single human looked like to a lion. Slow, weak eyesight in low light. No claws, no fangs, nothing built for a fair fight. A solitary person on the open savanna wasn't dangerous to anything. They were a meal with legs. But a group was nearly untouchable. Numbers, noise, fire. The simple fact that 10 pairs of eyes see more than one. Predators that would gladly stalk a lone human for hours would actively avoid a group of 15. Safety never came from strength. It came from head count. So separation wasn't an inconvenience. It was close to a death sentence. And brains that didn't take that seriously didn't get the chance to pass themselves on. Look at how early human groups punished their worst offenders, and the pattern gets even clearer. Often not with violence, with exclusion. Cast someone out alone, with no weapon and no fire to share, and nobody needed to lift a hand against them. The land finished the sentence on its own, through exposure, hunger, or whatever was hunting that night. Banishment wasn't symbolic. It was often a death sentence, with the timeline left open. Everyone in the group knew it, which means everyone also knew exactly what was at stake the moment the group started to drift away from them. Here's where it gets interesting. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger ran a now famous study where people played a simple ball tossing game inside a brain scanner, believing they were playing with 2 other real people online. At some point, the other 2 stopped passing the ball. No insult, no explanation, just silence. Participants weren't told a story about rejection. Nobody said a cruel word to them. The game simply went quiet, the way a group chat sometimes does, and that was enough. The brain scan showed something nobody expected. The exact same regions that activate during physical pain, the ones that fire when you stub your toe or burn your hand, lit up the moment people were excluded from a simple game. Not sadness, not disappointment, pain. Your brain doesn't file social exclusion under minor inconvenience. It files it under injury. That's not a coincidence. That's a warning system left over from a time when being cut off from the group wasn't uncomfortable. It was lethal. The discomfort you feel isn't your brain overreacting. It's your brain doing exactly the job it was built for, just running on outdated information. Watch what your own body does with something far smaller than full exclusion. Being ignored mid-conversation. A message marked seen but never answered. Heart rate shifts without your permission. Cortisol, your body's main stress hormone, climbs. Your attention narrows onto the one relationship that suddenly feels uncertain, sometimes at the cost of everything else in front of you. That's not drama. That's the same circuitry from the savannah, fully online, treating a delayed reply like a survival-level event. Now look at what you actually do when that warning system fires. You don't fear the unread message because of the words inside it. You fear what it implies, that you might be drifting outside the group, unnoticed, unprotected. The notification badge isn't really about information. It's a modern stand-in for the question your ancestors needed answered every single day. Am I still one of them, or am I out here alone? That's why a slow reply can feel heavier than it should. Why a photo of friends hanging out without you can sting for the rest of the day. Why silence from people you care about can sit in your chest like an actual ache. None of that is weakness. It's an alarm built across hundreds of thousands of years, going off in a world that finally has locks on the doors and lights in every room, but never told your nervous system the danger had changed shape. So tonight, when you catch yourself checking a phone that hasn't buzzed, refreshing a conversation that's gone quiet, you're not being needy and you're not overreacting to nothing. You're doing the one thing every surviving human before you also did the moment they sensed the group might be pulling away. You're checking if you're still safe,